From EPN News, my name is David Ewen, and this is Your World Discovered. My guest today is Austin Camacho, who will be talking to us about C3Con. Before we speak with Austin, let's get the website out. It's www.creaturescrimesandcreativity.com. Again, that's www.creaturescrimesandcreativity.com. In Columbus, Maryland, on September 8th through September 10th of 2017 will be the next C3Con. Let's welcome Austin to the program.
Thanks, David. Great to be here.
It's good to see you. Can you tell our audience what C3Con is and how it all started?
Well, I, as a writer, have been to a lot of writers' conferences, and the ones that I really liked were small kind of venues, 100 people or so, but there was nothing like it that I wanted to do in the mid-Atlantic states. So I and a few other people, kind of fanatics, decided we would do it. What we decided was we didn't just want to have a mystery con or a romance con, or it's a multi-genre thing, because I've met a lot of writers who write across the genre. So thrillers, mysteries, horror, suspense, science fiction, fantasy, all of those fiction genre are represented at the con, and it's 3 days of just fun for the fans and learning for the writers.
Now, is this the first one, or have you had one last year? Is that correct?
Oh, and actually, this would be the 4th coming up.
So this has really taken off.
Yeah, we're growing. It's going good, and we have had some pretty exciting and impressive writers as our keynotes. But we're maintaining that high level of excellence. That's why I'm really happy of the people we've got this year. Peter Blauner, who is an international bestseller in the thriller area, and Jonathan Maberry, who is, gosh, he writes just about everything. But if you're into fantasy or science fiction, he's your guy. And having names like that brings a lot to the table.
Now, what are visitors who come to the con, what would they expect for this upcoming conference, which will be September 8th through the 10th, 2017?
Thanks. We'll start, the 8th is a Friday, so it starts at noon, and it runs until Sunday at noon. Now, we have panels and speakers in 1 hour blocks, all Friday afternoon, all day Saturday, and Sunday morning. It's like 36 separate blocks and 3 tracks running at a time. So there's a lot going on. Most of these panels are oriented that fans and readers will like it, although there are a few that are specifically for the writers. And I find that most of the writers we get to come really enjoy sharing what they know and what they do with others. On top of that, dinner Friday, the 3 meals Saturday, and breakfast Sunday are included in the registration. We do that because all the writers and all the fans all sit together at meals. Maybe you'll be sitting with Jonathan Maberry at the table while you're having your lunch, or David Swinson, who is a local guest who is a thriller writer, or Debbie Mack, who is also a New York Times best-selling mystery writer. I can tell you that is registered to come. He's not speaking or anything. He's just one of the writers. He'll be on a couple of panels. We get some pretty impressive people from time to time. We have 2 book signings where all the writers gather. They're open to the public. People come in and buy a bunch of books, and it's all kinds of cool stuff going on.
What are some of the success stories that happened last year that you said, we got to do this again? What are you carrying over from the success of last year into this year's event in September?
Well, I will tell you that the unexpected, the unplanned joy is that Friday and Saturday after dinner, everybody goes to the hotel bar and just hangs out. And this is where all the serious networking takes place. This is where new friends are made. We had Alexandra Sokolov there last year, who is very socially active, and we just hung out. And I think that unscheduled networking period turned out to be very important for a lot of writers. I also think that by having the book signings open to the public and having people in the hotel come by and see what's going on, several writers who were new and had never been to a book signing had that experience of being able to sign their novels for people and have people ask them, what your book is about. Brand new writers need that kind of stuff.
It sounds very much that this is a very powerful event. And the reason why I say that is even after the event, and when I say after the event, after the dinner, and then you're at the bar or in that common area in the hotel, the conference in many ways continues with that collaboration.
People stay together a lot because it's the experience. It's the experience of being there. It's the networking. It's, hey, this is my first time being on a panel. It's being interviewed as you are interviewing me now. The Baltimore County Public Library sends a film crew every year, and they interview writers. People who've never been interviewed for TV before get to stand in front of a camera and see what that's like. And they produce several of those videos and put them up on YouTube so people can see what happened last year. So it's all about the experience of being there and being surrounded by people who love the kind of stuff I write or love the kind of stuff I like to read.
So what kind of surprise, and when I say surprise, what new things are you doing this year that you haven't tried in the other three events?
Well, if I told you, they wouldn't be surprises, would they? But
that was a bad choice of words.
we have tried to, as much as possible, stick to the pattern. But I think the real surprises will come from our keynote speakers and our special guests, because they always do stuff that we're not expecting. Last year, I mentioned Alexandra Sokolov being there last year, fantasy writer, great gifted woman. During the Saturday, a couple of people started asking her about, well, how do you write movies? How do you do that as opposed to doing a novel? And what can we learn from that would be appropriate to a novel? Enough people asked us about it. Sunday, we cleared a spot in the schedule and gave her an hour to give this class because there was a demand for it. That was great fun. I will tell you also, every year we have an anthology that we build and give away. We don't sell them. They go in your welcome packet, and only the people who attend get a copy of the anthology. The anthology is short stories submitted by attending authors. And you never know what's going to be in there. The keynotes usually throw in a story. The year that we had Heather Graham and F. Paul Wilson, they both contributed fabulous stories. So you never know what you're going to find in that little book. And a brand new writer who got his story in there can say, hey, look who I'm published with. Look who I'm in a book with, Peter Blauner, wow, something like that. That can be a nice surprise for a writer.
Now, we mentioned before that the website is www.creaturescrimesandcreativity.com. I'll read that again, www.creaturescrimesandcreativity.com. And it's the C3 conference in Columbus, Maryland from September 8th through September 10th. How does someone get involved?
Well, it's really easy to go to the website and register there and see all the details. And as soon as we have it together, we'll have the schedule posted. However, we also have a very active Facebook page. So if you look for Creatures, Crimes, and Creativity on Facebook, you will find us. Gosh, there must be 1,800 people who are attached to the Facebook page, and all of the attending writers are invited to go ahead and post what's going on in your writing life. What's your new book? Where are you being interviewed? Where are you appearing? So it's a good way for us to form a community, really, a community of writers and avid readers who just get into whatever it is that they're into. If you're a big mystery fan, or you just love paranormal novels and you're wondering who's the next person you want to follow, or if you're a writer and you want to get connected with your peeps, this is the way to do it. I hope everybody will sign into the Facebook page and follow along.
Very good. Now let's talk to our audience about what you do. Let's learn a little bit about Austin Camacho as the author, and share with us your website and a little bit about your writing history.
Well, of course, my website, www.ascamacho.com. But again, I'm on Facebook and easy to find there, and on Twitter as well. I write, I'm kind of splintered. I write a mystery series about an African-American private eye named Hannibal Jones set in Washington, D.C. And they are hard-boiled detective, but I try to make sure that it's a real mystery. You got to follow the clues and find out who done it. And that's where I kind of started my writing career. Then the Hannibal books, the nature of writing noir, they started getting darker and darker, and I needed a break from that to do something lighter. So I write the Stark and O'Brien adventure series. Morgan Stark was a mercenary soldier. Felicity O'Brien was a jewel thief. They met because they were both double-crossed by the same guy, teamed up, went after him for revenge. And then they formed a personal security company using their talents. And in each novel, they come up against some bad guys, I think more on the James Bond scale. It's a little less real life and a little less gritty and a little more Indiana Jones kind of stuff. Give me a break from the dark stuff, but a lot of fun. And then I've started a third series. Only one book so far. It's called Beyond Blue, about a detective agency that only takes case to help police officers who are in trouble. You know, the leader of this group says that when the people who protect us, when the boys in blue need help, sometimes you have to go beyond blue, hence the title. And the Beyond Blue agency has 5 very interesting characters who are agents. And in that first book, they're pursuing 4 different cases that kind of interweave and interconnect. And it was a lot of fun to write because that way I could have a cliffhanger at the end of every chapter. So that's out there. It's also my first book to go audio. So if you go to Audible, you can find Beyond Blue and download a copy and listen to that fun on your way to work or whatever.
That's great. Now, we were talking earlier about C3Con, and again, I'll share the date. It's September 8th through 10th, 2017. The website again is www.creaturescrimesandcreativity.com. Also, Creatures, Crimes, and Creativity on Facebook. You've got a very large writing background. Will people be able to see you either present or be part of a panel, or how will people be able to find you at the event in September in Columbus, Maryland?
Well, first of all, I'll be all over the place because I'm trying to keep it together. Our entire committee is only 4 people, now 5 people. So we're all pretty busy. But yes, I'll be on a couple of panels. I'll be introducing guests. One of the fun things that we do is At lunch on Saturday, we interview one of our local guest authors, and on breakfast Sunday morning, we interview one. So I'll be doing one of those interviews. I will probably be interviewing David Swinson. He was a cop in D.C. He is retired, but he's a much decorated police officer who is now writing police procedurals, and his stuff is very, very realistic, and it's real life what cops do. And I really look forward to interviewing him at that lunch experience.
That's great. My guest today has been Austin Camacho. He is coordinating with a group of people, C3 Con. It is scheduled for September 8th through September 10th in Columbus, Maryland. The website, www.creaturescrimesandcreativity.com. And you can also find the organization and the event on Facebook by searching Creatures, Crimes, and Creativity. Again, my guest is Austin Camacho. Thank you, Austin. Thank you for joining me on Your World Discovered. My name is David Ewen. This is Your World Discovered, and this is EPA.